We'll go over how to make a football playbook out of PowerPoint. First thing I like to do is set up a line of scrimmage. Use just a level line. Then we'll take a shape. I like to use a square for the center. Get the center aligned and make it inert so that it's got a white fill with a maybe a black solid line. And that's the kind of the format we're going to use for the rest of the offensive linemen. So now that we have a square for the center, we'll get the same thing with a circle or oval lined next to and same proportional shape as the center. And format painter will apply from the center to the guard that we're making here. Now that we've got the guard established, we'll just copy and paste this to make our other guards and tackles and align them accordingly. And we're going to group these two, the guard and tackles, together. Right click and group them so that their width remains consistent. So we're going to group these two, copy and paste. Now we've got our other side guard and tackle, and we'll just flip this group pair. And once we have this all aligned how we want it, we're going to select both sets of guards and the center and group them as well. So now that we have a template for our offensive linemen. I like to set the guards and tackles a little bit off of the center. It makes for probably better diagrams and more realistic. So now that we have our offensive line established, the easy part is just aligning our offensive players. I use just a standard Word formatting or text object. So you'll see at the top, we're going to select the text and just put in our quarterback, X, Y, and Z, and our H and our F. Align however you like. Now you can also do make an oval and type the letter of the character, and we'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. But as you see, we're just copy and pasting each of these Word objects and align them where we want them. So we've got our F and our Y on the line of scrimmage with the Y, and now we'll just work on the splits of the receivers. All right, now that we've got the shapes or our receivers on the field, the easy thing is going to be to include the defensive players here in just a second. But like I was explaining, you could make a circle and put that just like you did with the offensive guards and tackles, and just type in there the letter of the receiver you're going to work with. And you could format the circle to be colored however you like. I've seen a lot of playbooks where they color the X, Y, and Z different colors so it's easily recognized. This is shown as an example what you could do if you wanted to do that. But we'll move on, and what we're going to do now is just add the defensive players in, and it's pretty simple because we're just copying and pasting these Word letters to denote the defensive players. I like to change the font to be just a little bit different so that they're easily recognized as something other than offensive players. Color them different, just make them unique. So we've got our coverage shell. We're aligning to the receivers, and we're just cutting and pasting just to get the basic 11 defensive players on the field. We'll include our linebackers or safeties, and then we'll work on the defensive linemen. I find it helpful when working with the line is that when you zoom in on these uh, areas of focus, that way it's a little bit easier to align them, to get all the nuances of the shades and techniques. So far, so good. I'm sure everybody is probably thinks this is pretty simple, and it is. I think where a lot of people have issues with PowerPoint is drawing the lines, uh, any type of uh, diagrams in PowerPoint would probably make you pull your hair out because it can be so frustrating. So here we'll show just basic offensive line movement. Then the thing we want to do here is make sure we zoom in and make a lot of movement points or data points when we draw player movement. So here we'll just use basic zone steps. We're gonna depart at an angle. Here we'll just move that that line object to attack the defensive player at an angle, and we'll copy and paste that through the other offensive lineman so it's a little bit uniformed. Now, if we had this all the way zoomed out, it would be very difficult to appropriately draw player paths. That's why we want to make sure when you do any type of player movement, it's always important to zoom in and make sure your data points connect. And what I like to do is the curve feature here, curve line feature. We'll show it here in just a second. Is you want to use this to intuitively mark a player path. So if we select this, not that one, it's the curve. There we go. That's the one we want. And what we're going to do is just keep clicking throughout the path. So we're moving the cursor, but we're left clicking throughout this path. So you see that not quite how we wanted it, so we'll start it again, and we'll create a start point and keep just clicking. So there's lots of left clicks in this line object, and we'll format paint that so all these lines will look the same. And we'll just do some more of that, and we'll make a little bit more dramatic where we're going to do an arc. And this is where offensive line paths in PowerPoint can be real tricky. Now, when we do like an arc or a block here, I actually like to make 2 separate data points because it does get very difficult to mark this cleanly. So the same thing, we've got a zone combo on the tackle. We'll do the same thing of making a block here together. Let's see. So we're going to work this combo, and then we'll get those 2 offensive line paths intersecting at this block. Boom. Okay, and we'll just format paint those other lines so it looks consistent. And then what we'll do is we'll select our offensive linemen and bring them to the forefront. So any lines of movement paths will get cleaned up. Then we want to make it look clean. All right, now that we've shown you how to do that, you'll probably want to look at receiver stems and routes. How does that look? Well, okay, and I think the big thing is we'll work on an out, a flag, and the fade. So we've got a vertical stem on number 2, and then we're going to stop that. Then we're going to use the curve object editor. Same like we did with the offensive lineman. We're going to make a lot of clicks, left clicks, as we make this arc outside. So it'd be like a corner break here. And we'll end this path with an arrow. All right, that was simple enough, and now we just want to match up the customized arc with the vertical stem of the route. Want to make sure both of these lines connect, make it clean, make it look like one big line. There we go. Now if we work the fade of number 1, you'll see it's the same thing. We're going to zoom in and really get obnoxious with how many clicks we use to break this stem. So we're clicking until it looks pretty clean. All right, there we go. And then we're going to just pop it off with an arrow, and we'll just end up copying, format painting that stem, that vertical stem of the corner route there. So, and now we can stretch it. We've got our corner and our fade there. That's probably the 2 more difficult routes to draw, and there you have it. Now that we've got all 22 players, we're going to import or just copy a great football field template. This is built by James Thurman, head high school football coach in Louisiana. Actually, these proportions work very well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to eliminate all this extra play diagrams from the diagram example available for download at the end of this video. And we're just going to copy these field markings template. We're going to paste it into our playbook example. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste it into the slide master so that it appears on every single slide we have. So we're going to copy this. There's our I'm going to copy the field. So this is the hashes and the yard lines and the yard markers, and we're going to paste them into our slide master of our playbook example. So boom. Now that it's in the slide master, we go back to the regular slide, and the field is available. So what we can do now is just select everything on our slide and move it appropriately to match up with the field. So there we go. And we can get rid of our line of scrimmage and move that player that we didn't select before. So that's how you make a playbook. Here's how you find this playbook. You can just Google Cripes Football. You'll see that our blog is at the top. Please be sure to visit Deuce and Coach Hoover's great sites there. They've got a lot of great material that you could grab. But if we go to Get Back to Fundamentals, you'll see at the very right-hand column there is a Playbooks, Diagrams, and Articles link. So just click that link to download, and it'll bring you to a Google Drive account. And there's a lot of playbooks and such, but if you search, you'll find some PowerPoints here. I would recommend downloading, for an example, of Andrew Coverdale's alley screens and receiver packages. These are great examples. This cover 4 is a defensive playbook, and diagram is just a basic examples of how to build plays in PowerPoint. So that PowerPoint is downloaded. We'll open it up, and you'll see, hey, this is everything we just showed you.